Hey there, Zesty Boys, and welcome back to the Zesty Podcast. My name, of course, is Tony Shire.
I'm Joey Becknell.
And I'm Mitchell Gunn.
And Mitchell slammed his finger in a door. I wanted to be the one to say it.
That's all right. That's all right. Yeah, I did it today. I was a little angry.
Why?
I was a little angry.
What happened?
Why were you angry?
You know?
New puppies causing you trouble?
No, they're actually doing great. They're very, very good dogs.
Oh, Lily and Zeus.
Yep, Lily and Zeus. Zeus and Lily.
I thought you were going to name one Boo Radley.
From To Kill a Mockingbird?
Yes.
I mean, that's a pretty good name.
It is.
Not going to lie.
I'm going to name my son Boo Radley.
I thought you were going to name one Gumbo.
Sounds like
Gumbo and Boo Radley, those are way better names than Jack and Diane or whatever you chose.
Boo Radley sounds like a star from the Harlem Renaissance.
What's the Harlem Renaissance?
It's like Langston Hughes.
Jazz.
Maybe not Langston Hughes.
I know what you're talking about.
Louis
Okay.
Armstrong.
Where they in, like,
Yeah. I like completely recognized the phrase, but I was just there was nothing when you click that folder on the computer. There's just nothing in there.
Yeah,
then
it's
you
like
gotta change the file name, and then there it is.
Yeah.
It's like the moment in American history where racist white people were like, wow, black people are good at music.
And then blaxploitation started, Motown era and everything.
Bingo.
There you go.
Yeah, they were like, wow. Racist white people were like,
into your racist
wow,
white guy impression.
they can do something. And then black people are like, yeah, we've been doing it for years.
Yep. Where was that racist white guy from? What accent were you drawing upon?
That was New York because, I mean, it was in Harlem, New York. But I was just thinking like a nerdy white guy
Who
that's
parked
like,
the car in the yard?
for some
That's
reason,
not New
thinks
York.
that he's entitled to something.
Boston, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm
Isn't-
from Queens.
Go ahead.
What?
Say your thing,
I'm,
Joey.
okay.
I'm from Queens.
Oh, okay.
How do you
I'm
guys?
from the Bronx.
Do you guys think 9/11 affected you like personally a lot?
Not really.
Not really.
A little bit, maybe.
A little
I
bit.
was so
I had
young when it
family that was in
happened.
New York
Mhm.
at the time.
Oh.
Oh.
And
My headphones are now unplugged from Joey's carelessness.
Sorry.
Sorry about it.
Sorry.
Jesus, we're having technical difficulties because Joey has to keep texting during this episode.
There's a spider.
No.
There is a
Peter.
spider.
A little fun fact.
Okay.
My uncle was supposed to be in one of the upper levels of the World Trade Center on the day of 9/11,
Wow.
but he his meeting got canceled the night before,
Jeez.
and he like woke up the next day and World Trade Center was on fire.
Oh, do you think he caused it?
Come to think of it, he's never said he didn't cause it.
I don't know about come to think of it, but come when I think about it.
It's pretty fucked up tone.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like 9/11 didn't really affect me too much. The most affected I've ever been by it was senior year of high school. I was dual enrolled, so at like 10-ish, I was driving from my house to go to high school, and then it was on 9/11, and they were like, we're going to do a remembrance thing or some shit, and then they like sang the national anthem or something weird, and I got all teary-eyed, but now
Wow.
I do not care.
Wow.
I mean, I care. I mean, it's just like
It's just a tragedy.
Directly, I haven't been affected by it, but indirectly, I mean, like planes were, or that whole process was.
I
completely
think
different.
directly you can acknowledge like it was a tragedy.
The
Like,
best marketing or like propaganda ever to just relentlessly destroy the Middle East to drill oil is never forget. When they say 9/11, like in the grand scheme of things, like a few thousand people, 10,000 people, something died in the United States, but never forget that so that we can just destroy these Middle Eastern people. Like it is like a great way just from the beginning. It's been never forget.
I mean, you're right, but at the same time, I'm hoping they mean never forget, but never forget the people that died.
I mean, yeah, that's definitely.
Yeah, I think you're like jumping over like layers.
No,
of,
okay. I know that like a lot of people will look at it as never forget that like the people who lost, but who were lost and all like the lives and etc. But I think their double entendre goal was never forget we're gonna kill these Muslims because they did this to us. Never forget that. That's the way I see it. And now we've killed multiple millions of civilians in the Middle East.
I mean, that's a very apathetic way of looking at things. Yeah.
How would that be an apathetic way?
Well,
of
not
looking at
apathetic, just like a very I guess like if you want to assume the worst, like yeah, like that America said, oh, there was a huge tragedy, let's kill all these people.
Well, that's not what I'm trying to get at. That's what I think a lot of the people who they're trying to get into this mindset want to believe, like, oh, they're the bad guys, we know who the bad guys are. But what they're saying, never forget, so that those people will be like, okay, those are the bad guys, we need to fight the bad guys, bring them justice, when in actuality they just want oil from the Middle East. But you can't just say, well, we're going to these peaceful people and taking their oil. It's like, oh no, they're bad guys, that they did bad thing, never forget.
I don't know if I necessarily agree with the never forget thing, but I do agree with the fact that it's like, if you want a country to come together and agree to, like, just destroy another country, like utilizing, if 9/11 was perpetrated by them, do we think it's an inside job, fellas?
I think yes, okay, but that's not the argument I'm trying to make.
I don't know.
Just the fucking plane that crashed in the middle of farmland and was just completely disintegrated, and the other buildings that just also fell that no one talks about, and like the Pentagon and shit. I think it was. I think there was definitely shadiness inside.
It's fishy.
I don't think it was like George Bush pushing a button that says blow up towers, but I think because we gave a bunch of guns to Osama bin Laden way before that, I believe, if my history is correct. So
him or Saddam or something.
Yeah, why wouldn't it have been an inside job? We're already supporting this guy. It's like, okay,
I wonder,
we're gonna support you, but you gotta scratch our back by letting us destroy the people that you also hate.
Who makes that call? If it is an inside job, who's like the final one to be like, all right, we're doing this?
I think it's probably like a panel. I don't think it's like we gotta call Dave.
No, he's out of the office.
He's our inside job guy.
Yeah, fucking do it. I don't care.
Even the panel, it's just like crazy that someone could make that call.
I mean, when there's that much money on the table, they're just evil people at that point. I mean, fucking Jeff Bezos, he's making the call to make these workers work for $8 an hour with no benefits when he's has like $200-something billion.
No one man should have all that power.
I was watching The Social Network the other day, and at the end of the movie, it was like these people got blank settlements. Facebook is now worth $25 billion. Like, Jesus. But I looked it up today, and it's like $520-something billion. And the Winklevoss twins got screwed, as did Eduardo Savarez. I think that's his last name. I don't know. But I think screwed. They got $65 million. Like, I'd be fine getting screwed with that, but knowing that it could have been way more. Yeah. But again, no one needs billions of dollars.
You really don't.
I'd be if I just got $2 million.
Oh yeah,
I'm good.
You could if you did it right, you could make that last.
That's 40 years of $50,000 a year.
Damn, that's a lot of damn money.
It's a lot of damn money. And then if you invest it properly, and then you got retirement right there, put it all on black, there's a chance you got a lot of money.
I know a baseball player that I think I might have talked to you guys about him before. I don't know, but he signed, his signing bonus was like $2.7 million.
Jesus,
he was 17. Life changed right there.
That's insane.
Or maybe 18. He was on the fringe.
And that's like Dakota Chalmers went to our high school. He's like,
I don't want to say.
I mean, you can say his name. He's a pro baseball player.
I don't know if it's signing. I'm sure it's out there. Ethan Hankins.
Ethan Hankins.
He's the one who was at Top Golf and was ripping golf balls. Wasn't he?
Golf balls. Yeah.
He was like 6'8" and just destroying these golf balls.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Dakota Chalmers, I think got a few $1 million signing bonus or something.
It's like if you just invest that, you could make it last forever.
Just stop playing baseball. Do you get to keep your signing bonus?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Or your signing bonus is guaranteed. I don't know if you could. You might be able to get it back.
That's like outside of pay and everything too. Do you know who Seth Beer is?
Yeah.
Clemson. Did he go to Clemson? I swam against him a few times. He was like, he's our age, and so he was like in the name of people that I'd go to meets with all the time, and so he was like this Olympic grade swimmer, and then just decided that he'd play baseball.
That's where the money's at.
I remember definitely. Yeah. But I remember someone talking about it, and they were saying like, oh well, like he's going to Clemson right now because he only got offered like $12 million. Like he's not going unless he gets at least 20. It's like, what?
That's what happens if you have a rich family. You can just
Oh yeah,
not
yeah. He's
worry
from
about it.
Lambert
Yeah.
area, so he was fine anyways.
Yeah.
But I think he was a hitter, isn't he, or something like
Yeah,
that?
he's like a first or third baseman. I can't remember. Maybe he's an
Okay.
outfielder. I don't know. He did. Yeah.
He's a power bat.
Yeah.
He was a power bottom.
I remember I played MLB The Show, which is like the baseball game.
Mhm.
PS4, and he was in it.
Was he?
Yeah.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Like as a high school player, or as a pro
No,
player?
as a pro player. He was
Oh.
like in the minor leagues at
Oh.
the time.
Wow.
Is Dakota Chalmers still in the minor leagues?
I don't know where he's at. I know he got traded.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
it with the A's for a while, and then he got traded somewhere. I think.
Wouldn't you like to be playing for the A's right now?
Yeah.
The A's
Hate to
good.
be in Oakland though. Maybe I wouldn't hate it. I mean,
Oakland's just San Francisco.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
It's
That's right.
NoCal.
NorCal. Even if you're a baseball player, you can't afford to live in San Francisco. It's
Yeah,
stupid.
minor league
You're
players
right
don't.
by wine country. That's pretty
They
fun.
don't make that much
There's
money.
wine country everywhere.
There's a cool channel on YouTube about it's like a minor league baseball player and he explains like what happens
Mhm.
or like how it works. And minor league players don't make that much money
That's like
Yeah.
unless you're like a superstar.
like minor league golfers too. Like they
Yeah.
just play like these like little miniature like no one cares about tournaments to try to
Mhm.
get their card for the
Mhm.
like next year of PGA.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. They go to Q school or whatever to get their tour card,
Mm.
and it's like I remember who was it? He didn't get it the first time. So it might have been John Raw, or no, it was Brooks Koepka. Like, you know Brooks Koepka?
Oh really?
Yeah,
I
he-
do know that name.
He didn't get his card the first time. Had to go to Europe and play it more, and now he's like one of the best players.
Yeah,
on
he
tour.
won like something big.
He's won a lot of big things. He won the PGA Tour almost 3 years in a row, or the U.S. Open almost 3 years in a row.
Really?
Or something like that.
Wow. Golf just seems like it'd be like the most preferable game to be the best at
Yeah.
because it's just like casual. Like you,
you
just
win
walk.
one tournament and you can be done for the year if you want. Like,
And like it's just golf. Like it's not that. It's definitely skill, but it's
Yeah.
not strenuous. Like
yeah.
it's not
I
like
would
you're
say-
being a
yeah.
lineman.
probably
for,
the hardest. I don't know if I'd say the hardest sport out there.
It's the hardest sport to get a gold medal in the Olympics.
I would say like it's all you, and it is so like they're
What are we
so
talking
hard.
about?
Golf.
Golf.
Oh,
I think
okay.
basketball is considered the easiest because the teams are so big, or other big team sports are the easiest to get golds in.
Well, especially if you're an American. America just
Yeah, and
wins
guaranteed.
gold in basketball every time.
Mm.
Especially now that they can play like pros in the Olympics. It's like,
Oh, can they?
yeah.
It's just gonna be LeBron and
last
Steph
time,
Curry.
I don't think we. I don't know if we won last time because a lot of the pros opted out.
Yeah, because
Isn't-
it was during playoffs.
Isn't LeBron like on the same team as Steph Curry now?
No,
I thought he went to
No.
Golden State.
They're both in California.
Oh wait, where does LeBron play?
the Lakers,
Oh,
and they're both yellow.
Okay.
Plays with
Lakers.
Anthony Davis.
What about Bronny?
Bronny, he's a freshman or sophomore in high school.
Really?
Brony.
And if they change it to where high schoolers can go straight to the NBA,
Mm.
there's a feasible chance that him and LeBron could play together, which would be
That'd
pretty crazy.
Imagine just getting
Who's-
just destroyed by your dad like all the time,
That'd be awesome.
or like playing on separate teams and you just get dunked on by your dad is way better than you.
Yeah, there's a Ken Griffey Jr. He's a baseball player.
I've heard.
He's on the Mariners. He played with his dad for like a couple seasons.
Ah.
It's pretty
That's kind of cool. I'll tell you what, pro players being allowed in the Olympics made Olympic hockey 10 times cooler.
The Olympic hockey is like they break up fights there because like wars might start if they like let like a
Yeah,
Canadian
there's, like,
guy and
a
a
lot of
Russian guy
rules
fight. Yeah.
About it. Like, think about America and Russia.
So
I don't know
good.
if it's that dramatic, but it's like they don't allow fighting.
Hockey is like crazy because it's like there are so like Russian. That's like the thing in Russia. Like there's so many just Russian
Yeah,
players.
it's like football.
Do they have a league in like
Yeah,
Russia?
There's
Like an NHL equivalent?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they do.
Okay.
They do.
So do American guys go to Russia to play?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean it happens, but also like I think like the NHL and the K, it's K something. I think their league, the NHL along with their league, are like both like the premier leagues of the world.
Mhm.
So it's like there's like American players that are good and Canadian players that are good that don't get allowed in because it's that picky,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, there's like big names like Ilya Kovalchuk. He played for the Thrashers. He was their superstar. He went to the New Jersey Devils, and then he opted to go to Russia and play. And now he's back in the States, and I think he's on the LA Kings.
I went to a hockey game in Columbus, the Columbus River Dragons. They're not a good team. I think they make like something like $400 a week or something like that to play hockey, and that's just like a ton of Russian dudes who are just like grinding it out to try to get in the NHL, I guess.
Yeah.
Just crazy. I mean, I guess $400 in America might be better than whatever you would make playing that level in Russia, but maybe. I don't know.
I don't know how the
I don't know what the
currency
life
compares.
or the quality of life is like in Russia. Because every time I think of Russia, I just think of like cold cabin or like gross, but I never think of Russia as like a big city or anything, which there definitely is. Like Moscow is probably like Hong Kong or somewhere in Japan that I don't know the name of.
I feel like it's just gray.
Yeah, that's like what I think of it, like post like Soviet Union, just garbage, but I don't know. I've never been there.
Yeah, it's probably a very narrow-minded look at it.
No, I'm not a big fan of sports, so I'm gonna let you guys handle this.
Yeah, but I do appreciate that you have officially announced that you're gonna rebrand the podcast to a sports podcast.
We'll talk about this. Don't worry.
Okay, for sure.
Don't you ever?
What do you think about?
Don't you ever talk about changes to the podcast on air again?
All right, whatever.
I swear to God.
Lauren told me he wants to see it become a sports podcast.
Really?
No, I don't think he's ever said that. I don't know if he even likes when we talk about sports. But what do you think about Freddie batting out of the 2 spot? That's a big...
This is a niche thing to talk about on the podcast.
Yeah, people do not care about this.
Not that they care about anything we have to say.
I mean, seriously, what do people care about what we have to say for?
What do we got?
Ugh. Bad news is what it is. So our home team, the Atlanta Braves, is currently dealing with injuries to 2 of our all-stars, Mr. Ronald Acuna Jr. and Ozzy Albies. And the aggravating thing is they've kind of been downplaying these injuries. So they've been saying that it's a sore wrist, and now we're getting more and more information that they're going to be out for a long, long period of time.
Joey, you ever been to a strip club before?
I haven't. Have you?
Yeah.
Really? How'd you like it?
I went to one in Athens, and it wasn't that great. Athens GA toppers.
Tell us what did you like and dislike?
The clientele there. I didn't like to be associated with most of what I saw in there.
Nice.
It was a nice novelty kind of thing.
Yeah, you get to say that now, and I don't.
Yeah, exactly. But I went to Daytona recently. Went to a strip club there. That was a lot of fun. But my friends that also went are very stupid, huge dumbasses.
Cool.
I hope they hear this. I hope they hear what I'm talking about right now.
Is it Drake in them?
It is, yes.
Okay.
Not necessarily. Drake wasn't one of them. It was my friend
Dylan,
Dalton especially being a fool out there.
Absolute fool, Dalton.
Kalen got played completely.
I don't know who Kalen is.
You don't know him. Dalton spent $220 in about 30 minutes in the private room because he just kept getting lap dance because he never told her stop. And he spent $220.
What the hell, Dalton?
But then another night, one of our other friends went there. He spent $450.
What for?
The same thing. Nothing. A whole bunch of teas.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, but it was fun though. I enjoyed it. It was a fun little thing going there. It's fun to bring like girls there. Like we went, our whole group. There were like 2 girls with us, and they were just see their reactions to things.
Yeah, that's funny. I think Abby would probably be more interested in going to a strip club than me.
Girls very much want to go.
She wants to go to a drag show, and
No, I could see that.
I mean, I wouldn't mind that. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah,
I got invited to participate in 2 drag shows while I was in college.
You said no.
Yeah, I said no, but
I couldn't do that honestly.
yeah, I don't know. I think it's my fragile masculinity.
I'm not interested in it.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm interested in it.
I feel like I've towed the line a little bit with something like the nose piercing, painted fingernails. I mean, that's very like
it's traditionally feminine.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird that it's like it is traditionally feminine. I don't think there's any issue with it. I don't think I have the self-confidence to be in a drag show.
I couldn't.
That's where I come from.
I couldn't flip that switch.
I have the highest respect for those guys. I'm like, damn, you're really doing it. Like, go get them, Tiger.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I'm not good enough.
What kind of bullshit's about to walk in here?
I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, God.
We'll see what's about to walk in here.
I missed both the guests last week.
Well, you didn't miss much. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
You didn't miss too much.
Just a murderer.
Felon. Yeah, apparently our parking attendant is dead. Murdered, stabbed in the heart.
Yeah. God. I liked her, too. She was a good girl. She was only an intern. She was an unpaid intern.
We have a horde of unpaid interns.
Yep. We don't pay anybody. I'm not getting paid.
I'm not getting paid.
I don't know.
I'm just here.
Tony's probably making...
Yeah, he's the only one benefiting from this.
Yeah, he is the only one benefiting. He makes me go pick him up beer for the beer podcast. Follow the beer podcast at ZestyBoyz on Instagram.
I'm drinking a nice rosé canned beer.
Yeah.
Wine.
How do you like that?
It's pretty good.
Pretty good?
Oh my goodness.
Is this the podcast?
Hey. Yeah, it is actually. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you boys here.
Hey, well, I'm Joey. This is Mitchell.
Drinking on the Lord's Day?
Yes.
Today's Monday, sir.
Is it Monday? Yeah, it's Monday.
I believe the Lord created all days.
He did. He did indeed.
Amen.
But alas, I am drinking on the Lord's Day. And I would think that God blessed this drink.
Well, I assume he probably did, as the blood of Christ is wine, which is an alcoholic beverage.
Yeah. What's your favorite alcoholic beverage?
Oh, well, I don't really drink alcohol too much. I will occasionally go down to the soda shop and have an egg cream.
An egg cream?
But that's about it for me.
Okay. I can't help but respect that.
I don't respect that at all.
What did you say to me?
I said I don't respect that at all.
Oh, well, that's understandable. Sorry, my hearing aids are not the best.
What's your name?
Oh, my name is Joshua Rosenstein.
Joshua. Well, it's good to see you. I imagine you probably saw the sign on the door and decided to come in.
Well, yes, sir, I did, and I thought that it was a capital idea, and I figured I'm not going to get this chance again in this lifetime, so might as well come on in and see what the podcast is about.
Yeah, you might get another chance in your lifetime to be on a podcast. That's kind of an extreme thing to say.
No, well, I'm an old man.
Yeah, how... If you don't mind me asking, you look like a spry young guy, but how old are you?
You hush, young man. I'm about 98 years old.
Wow,
the comb slicked hair adds an extra 15 years.
Yeah, the fact that you even have hair at 98, that's impressive.
I was blessed in many ways throughout my long days, and the hair on top of my head was one of those ways in which I was blessed by the Lord.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yes, sir.
So what does a usual Sunday entail for you?
Well, on Sunday, me and the wife.
What's her name?
Juliet Rosenstein.
Oh, it's a beautiful name.
We wake up probably around 5:30.
It's early.
Feed the dogs. Yes, sir. It's early.
What kind of dogs you got?
Oh, well, we have 2 terriers. I'm not sure what kind of terriers. We just got them from the pound. They were on death row. It's a kill shelter, so we figured we'd do our part and adopt an old dog.
Good for you.
And so we adopted one, and we figured we had to get a friend for him, seeing as we go to church all Sunday, so he'll get bored, so we got another one.
You don't bring your pups with you?
Oh, no, sir. They're too strong for these little old arms to carry around the city.
Okay. Okay, and what city is that? Is that Atlanta?
Any city, I suppose. My arms do not get stronger whether I'm in Atlanta or Oklahoma.
Okay.
Where are you from?
Sir. Sorry, I'm a bit of a scamp. Where am I from, did you ask?
Yeah.
Well, I'm from Mississippi.
Okay.
Right around
hold on.
Clinton, Mississippi.
Clinton,
And
Mississippi.
I feel the need to
Kind of like...
iterate.
How close is that to a place called Tupelo?
Oh, Tupelo, Mississippi. That's it's a day trip.
It's a day trip?
not like 24 hours of driving, but you can take a day trip
I see what you mean.
to Tupelo, Mississippi.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
But it's a quaint little town right outside of Jackson.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How'd Katrina treat you?
Well, it started storming, and we boarded the windows up beforehand, and it was a heavy storm. Lost power for a few weeks, but we persevered.
Okay, so you're from Mississippi. I take it you're Southern Baptist or Methodist?
Non-denominational.
Okay.
But I don't like to have my religion be the focal point of my personality.
Good.
Now I noticed.
I'm okay with that.
I don't know if I believe that. I'm gonna. What book did you bring in today?
Oh well, this is just one of the many books that I sell. I see I'm a bookseller
By trade?
by trade and by passion.
Okay.
Oh.
Good for you.
Yes, sir. I sell all
Love what you do.
sorts of books, whether they be fiction, non-fiction, biography, autobiography, novel,
What else?
science fiction,
Okay.
historical,
Okay.
documentative.
Okay.
But there's all sorts of books too, such as hardcover, paperback,
Yeah.
loose leaf.
What's
Okay.
your favorite type of book?
Well, I'm a big fan of the audio book, but ever since my hearing started going, I can't really.
You're a bookseller that's a fan of audiobooks.
Well, yes, sir. I sell audiobooks as well.
Okay.
I just love literature.
What's your favorite book? How about that?
Do I make you laugh, son?
Yeah.
That's
you do.
okay. I love
You're a funny guy.
raising the spirits of all peoples.
You're a
Good
funny
for you,
guy.
Joshua.
My favorite book would probably be, well, again, I don't like to push religion on others, but I like the good book. But outside of that, if we're having a secular conversation,
Are you more Old Testament or New Testament?
I'm New Testament, I would say. I support all modern trends. I believe love is love, and people shouldn't be hated for the color of their skin.
So,
Wonderful.
Joshua, are you gay?
Oh, no, sir. I'm married to my wife, Juliet.
Yeah.
But I am not opposed to gay people, is what I'm trying to say. I believe they can be just as good or as bad as straight people.
Good for you. I mean, absolutely.
You know, you're probably the most level-headed person to walk in here so far.
No, well, I take pleasure in knowing that.
Good for you. So tell us a little bit about Juliet. What does she do?
Juliet, she's a bit of a firecracker, I'd say.
Oh.
We met, I believe, the year. Well, they're all hazy at this point, but I was a sophomore in college playing football for Mississippi State. I was a lineman.
Go Bulldogs.
Go Bulldogs. And she was a sophomore in high school at the time.
Okay.
Which, it was a different time back then. It's very normal. She was 17. I was a few years older. I waited till she graduated, and on her graduation day, we got married. And we had our first child 3 years later. And ever since then, we've been deeply, deeply in love. Well, we were in love before the child, but I feel like having, not that you boys would know, but having a kid really brings two people closer together.
Okay.
You create a life, have to raise that life, and it's something special.
I'm sure it is.
Mhm.
I'm sure it is. That is special, Joshua. What does Juliet do? Is she...
Oh, well, she's a seamstress. She's retired now, but she still likes to sew the occasional doily. Getting into quilting these days, which I know it just sounds stereotypical for an old woman to be into quilting, but she loves it, and I'll support her in any passion that she has.
That's all that matters. Good.
Mhm.
Man, well, that is just...
Now, what do you do, young man?
I'm a real estate agent by trade.
Ooh, real estate.
Yep.
There's good money in real estate.
There is, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very hit or miss, but
Yeah, you got to take the good with the bad. That's what I always say.
that's a good saying.
And what about you? What do you do, young man?
I'm a sales assistant
A sales assistant.
at Fox TV. Sorry.
Fox TV is now. I believe that's not where you want to be right now, but it's a stepping stone. And life has many stepping stones.
I love it there right now.
You love it there. All right. Well, good for you. I was going to say you got to take jobs you don't necessarily want to get to the job you do want, but if you're loving where you are right now, then good for you to enjoy the journey.
Where'd you start? What was your start? Where'd you go? How'd you get to where you are right now? What happened?
Well,
How'd you do it? Where was it at? How'd you do that?
Well, that's a long story. As I told you, I played football. I was a lineman at Mississippi
What's your
State.
favorite football team?
Favorite football team?
Is
Well,
it Mississippi State?
well,
Is that where you wanted to go?
I did
Or
want
did
to
your
go
parents
there.
force you there?
Oh, no, sir. I wanted to go there, and they are still my favorite football team. They are my alma mater,
What's their mascot?
the Bulldogs.
What's their mascot's name?
What? Oh, that changes throughout the years.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
Now, what's your favorite football team?
The Georgia Bulldogs.
And what's
baby.
their mascot?
Ugga.
And what is he?
A bulldog.
Well, see, we're not too different after all.
What about
You got a sly tongue there, Joshua.
Oh, I'm a bit of a silver-tongued fox, as I've been described as in my past. But
You are a charming gentleman, Joshua. What is your favorite pro team?
is this the Joshua interview show these days?
Well, I mean, you come into our studio. We like to interview the folks
right.
that come in.
Got any
Understand.
skeletons in the closet, Joshua?
Oh, no, sir. I do not keep any skeletons in my house.
You
What?
keep
No,
them in the shed out back, don't you?
I have not created any skeletons in my lifetime, sir.
What about your own?
My own? I did not create this. My mother and father created that. Now, what did you say? Favorite protein?
Yeah, your professional football team.
Pro team. I thought you said protein as in like beef or turkey.
What are you hiding, Joshua?
Well, I'm not hiding anything.
What are you hiding?
I'm an open book. That's what I
The
say.
book's closed right now, Joshua.
This is me. You want me to read an excerpt? This is More Than a Carpenter by Josh McDowell and Sean McDowell. His story might change yours. But again, I don't want to push my religion, so that's why I asked.
What's your favorite excerpt from that book?
Favorite excerpt, if I had to choose, is probably here on page 3. It's a real quick one. It says, I was like a boat out in the ocean, tossed back and forth by the waves. I had no rudder, no direction or control, but I couldn't find anyone living any other way.
Wow, that's nice.
Beautiful.
It's a beautiful excerpt. It's fairly early in the book, but it really sets the tone for what you're going to be getting in the rest. And there are over 15 million copies of this book.
How much? If I was going to buy that book right now, how much?
Well, you see, at the shop, we normally sell them for $5 a piece, but...
What are you hiding, Joshua?
Well, I'm not hiding anything, sir. I'll gladly answer any question you ask me.
You ever committed a crime?
Oh, no, sir. Well, I mean, when I was a young man...
What'd you do?
We got into a little debauchery. I started drinking probably at the age of 16. Me and the football guys, we'd go have us a little party at the farm, but other than that, nothing.
How do you feel about Mississippi's history? Especially, how old did you say? 98?
98,
You
yes,
live,
sir.
you are, all right, you're 98 and you lived in Mississippi when you're growing up.
Mm-hmm. It's a rough place.
How about, can I?
Hey, go ahead.
Mississippi recently
Mm-hmm.
pushed some pretty hard legislation. They're changing the Mississippi state flag. What do you think about that?
I'm all for it. I think that we
Good.
need to get rid of these relics from the past where just because your grandfather or your daddy was a racist man doesn't mean you need to hold on to that aspect of him. There are
Okay.
many
Wow.
good qualities that these men probably had, but racism is not the one we should remember.
This is a level-headed man, ladies
Good for
and
you,
gentlemen.
Joshua. Yeah,
This is a level-headed
I would agree with
man.
that. I think that's very straightforward.
Well, thank you.
But I just have a question. What are you hiding, Joshua? What's in the closet?
There's no, just
What
my
do you
shoes
not
and my
want your
shirts.
mother to know about?
Oh, well, I tell my mother everything, God rest her soul. And she's in heaven, so she already knows all about me. So what would I need to hide from her? Or anybody in general?
So Joshua, you were talking about a crime earlier. I want to get back on that subject here real quick.
All right.
When you were 16, you were drinking with your friends from the football team.
Yes, sir.
Anything else occur that night?
No, sir. We just drank. We all slept in the barn, and that it was not a one-time occasion. We had multiple parties, but none of us ever drove our automobiles after the party or did anything that would be considered taboo, if you would.
Okay.
I like to think we were just having a good time when there wasn't really... We didn't have internet or computers back then, so all we had was to watch the corn grow, so we figured it might be a little more fun if you had a few drinks in you. He
Yeah.
gets it. I don't see what's so hard to understand about that.
You ever drink a little too much there, Joshua?
No.
Maybe forget what happened.
I think everybody's drinking a little too much. I wouldn't say that I have, as you said, blacked out.
I didn't say anything of the sort.
I meant you as in a proverbial sense, not you in particular. But I remember almost. I mean, I don't remember everything I did now, but I can recollect. If you give me you can't ask me what happened on the night blank because I won't remember that. But if you say, hey, remember the party when we were at Billy Joe's house, how you did blank, I would remember that because I was not head over heels wasted off of that oat soda.
So if I were to go into your home right now, just take a peek inside. Hey,
you can come in anytime.
Just take a peek inside. Maybe go down. You got a cellar? Got a cellar down there?
No, sir. We have
no cellar.
A one floor.
A modest home.
It's a modest home.
Modest living.
3 bed, 2 bath.
Okay, 3 bed. 3 bed.
1,200 square feet
for the two of you.
Well, we used to have children.
So you
we still have children. They used to live at home.
You used to have children, huh?
Well, now they're grown men.
So you've been living in this house for a while.
Oh yes, sir.
Okay.
You see, I'm an honest man. My father instilled in me many good things to live by. He had 3 tenets in life. He said, "Love your country." He said, "Be a gentleman," and he said, "The Jews are an inferior race." But listen.
The skeleton has been found.
As the rock and roll singer Meatloaf said in his 1977 song, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. And listen, I don't follow the third, and I changed my last name as to not be represented with that side of my family. Anyway, I took my wife's name when we got married, Rosenstein.
So your parents, were they immigrants?
Well, yes, they immigrated from Europe.
What was your original last name? What was the name that you shedded?
Himmler.
Oh my God.
So your parents, they're from Germany.
Well, yes.
Is that a correct guess?
That would be a correct guess.
Was your father a political figure? Or
not really I wouldn't call him a political figure.
Yeah.
But he did do a lot of work in the military.
Did you have a German Shepherd growing up?
Well, yes, one of the dogs we did have was a German Shepherd.
They're good dogs.
They are good dogs.
Just a question. How if this is too much, you can let me know. How'd your father pass?
I would really not prefer to relive my father's passing.
You ever been to South America?
Well, I've been around. I am personally not from South America, but we did have a family home there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You do have memories of your father, though.
Yes, sir.
You two were close.
We were fairly close. He was really passionate about his work, and so we didn't spend too much time at home.
Right. An accomplished author?
My father?
Yeah.
No, sir. He was involved in the military.
Okay, so he never authored a book.
Oh, no. No, sir.
Okay.
I think you may have misheard me. My last name is not Hitler.
Okay.
Okay. We'll get that out of the way.
Okay.
Because I can see where these lines of questioning is going to go.
Okay. I apologize. I think I was tiptoeing around that.
Understandable. And I'm not sure that you... I think you may have been having the same thoughts that your colleague had.
No, I appreciate you hitting that head on.
Himmler, Himmler.
From Germany.
Yes, sir. Heinrich.
Had a German Shepherd growing up.
Yes, sir. His
Family home in South America.
Yes, sir.
How'd your father pass?
I'm not sure. My mother kept it from us. He was a man who helped
heavily involved in the military.
He did not serve, but he helped set up. I believe there were training camps.
Joshua.
Yes, sir.
Dad was a Nazi. Your dad was a Nazi.
I know that, sir. I know that. That's why I said I got rid of his name. And this is why I do not open with, my name is Joshua, formerly Himmler, now Rosenstein. I say Joshua Rosenstein, and I believe that what he did was very, very bad. And you're going to say something?
No, I mean, I was going to let you finish.
Well, I denounce what my father has done.
Okay. You said your father's name is Heinrich?
Heinrich, yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, I just a quick little Google search. I found Heinrich Himmler.
Yes.
It's
kind of surprising you didn't know who he was before now.
I would put it all in the American education system.
Oh.
Heinrich Luitpold Himmler was a Reichsführer of the Schutzstaffel and a leading member of the Nazi Party in Germany. Himmler was one of the most powerful men in Nazi Germany, and a main architect of the Holocaust. As a member of a reserve battalion during World War I, Himmler did not see active service.
Did not see active service.
Did not see. That's funny, yeah. Because Nazis.
Yes, sir. We have to laugh at the past sometimes. But as I said, I denounced my father's name and I denounced his actions. I do not think that represents me as a person.
And you know what? That's fair. I really, shocking.
Well, yes, sir. That's why I don't open with it.
But it's a great thing that what you're doing. You're taking it in stride. You know the past, and you're actively denouncing it.
Yeah.
We can't forget it because we'll be doomed to repeat it. But we need to know that it was a bad thing.
Good for
so
you.
it's important that we teach it, but we should not idolize it.
Well, I mean, this has been nothing but educational for me.
Yeah, this has been nothing but a joy.
Now, how long have you boys been together?
Probably met Mitchell in about second grade.
Oh.
We've been good friends since then.
But I mean, when did you become public with it?
Okay, so you think that we're a gay couple?
Homosexual couple.
Sorry.
Is that what you're...
I was assuming. That is my fault. I just assumed two men who
No, that's okay.
run a podcast together and choose to sit next to each other instead of having a chair in between
There's
them.
absolutely nothing wrong with that. Assuming that two folks together on the street could be anything. No, but actually I do. I have a girlfriend. And,
well, she's a lucky lady.
Oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
I don't have a girlfriend.
Oh, the plot thickens, as they say in the literary world.
What do you mean by that?
Are both of you straight or just you?
That's a very forward question to ask about sexual orientation. But I think I know I am straight. Mitchell, I think, is also a straight man.
Yes.
Okay.
So I suppose this is three straight men talking.
Yes, sir.
As you are a married man to Juliet.
Yes, sir. But there would be nothing wrong if none of us were straight or if two of us.
Exactly. Yeah, no, absolutely not. It's absolutely orientation and preference and
exactly.
Yeah.
Now, I thought I heard a little talk of sports casting.
Okay.
Out from that's what kind of drew me in here to this.
Okay.
This here domicile, and I wanted to know what would you say?
We're following a baseball game right now. Actually, the Braves and the Nationals are playing.
Oh, the Atlanta Braves. So, would you say that's your favorite sports team?
Oh, it might be. It's one of my favorites. That's for sure. Definitely my favorite baseball team.
Okay. Now, what would you say your favorite sport is?
That's a hard one. It's either football or baseball.
Okay. And you, sir?
I'd have to say football.
All right. And
followed closely by a tie between baseball and actually no, basketball's second, baseball's third.
Understandable.
Mine's either football or baseball, first and second, and then hockey's without a doubt my third favorite.
Now, what would you say the worst thing you've ever done is?
Wow. Just like in general?
In general.
Like in life?
Yes, sir.
I mean, I've gotten a speeding ticket, but
that's pretty mild.
Yeah, it's pretty mild. I don't think I've done many things that are. That's a very.
By worst thing, do you mean to other people? Or
in general, what do you feel worst about doing?
It's more about what I haven't done there, Joshua.
Well, what haven't you done?
I haven't lived my life like I should have.
Wow.
What's the closest you've come to living your life?
When I just make the decision that's on my brain and I follow through with it.
Well, now, can you lead me down the rabbit hole of a few examples of maybe when you've let the brain take over and the body didn't have a chance to think?
I had to think about this for a second. In short examples, just meeting a new group of people or something like that.
Yeah.
And just kind of not worrying about what I say, what I do, and just being me, man. That's a tough thing to do, but you know what? In the past couple years, I've gotten a lot better at it.
I mean, I feel like I've known you for years.
Yeah.
You're very warm, very welcoming.
Yeah, you as well.
Well,
Pardon me
thank you.
asking about the skeletons in your closet. After the other couple guests we've had, I've had to do a little vetting beforehand just to make sure I know what I'm dealing with here.
I'm just razzing you a bit, seeing as you were asking me about my skeletons. I figured I'd follow suit.
That's fair. It just a lot, just a couple. It's more small examples than anything big when it comes to something like that. It's a bunch of little moments rather than, say, a storybook, like a certain event that happens. It's more like a series of events that kind of come together to show me who I could really be and who I really am.
Now, I'm gonna ask you, boys. Sorry for taking over this podcast and starting and being the one to interview you versus you interviewing me. But I want to know, what do you think would be the thing you could do? Money is no object. You don't have to think about it. That would make you the happiest. What could you do in the next year to make you the happiest Mitchell or Joey? You can take a second to think about it. It's no rush.
Yeah, I think I do need a second.
I'm very interested as to what your answers will be. You see, me, I'm an old man, so as long as the old ticker keeps pumping, I'll be happy as can be.
Absolutely.
As long as me and Juliet can just keep living life. That's all I look forward to, and all that I just will enjoy it as long as it lasts.
In my life, I've been blessed very much so with a great set of parents, a good life so far. I haven't had to worry about many things. If money was no object, of course I would take care of my family first, but then I'd want to find someone out there that is not, that just needs the opportunity, needs the funds, needs something, and I want to help someone else out. And I feel like that would make me feel really good, as if
Like an angel investor or just donating money?
I'd rather, I don't want to sound selfish, but I want to be able to see see my impact. You know what I mean? I want to see someone's life. It could be, I don't know how I'd figure it out, but I'd want to find someone to just kind of change their life, because I feel like I've had my life's been easy. To be straight up, my life has been a cakewalk so far.
That doesn't mean you haven't had struggles.
Of course, everyone has struggles, but compared to every day I get to come home to a nice home. I know my parents will always be on my side. I know that if any type of financial struggle comes up, my parents will be on my side. I want to be there for someone else. I want to pay it forward a little bit, because I know other people don't have it like that, and it makes me feel like I don't deserve it. I don't think I do deserve it. I don't think I don't deserve it. I think it's just something that happened, and I got lucky in this scenario. But I feel like if I could pay that forward and give that to somebody else, that'd make me feel a whole lot better.
Well, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
How about you, Joseph?
I think that's a really good answer, the one that you just provided. I think if I were to approach the question more from a selfish angle, like ignoring charity and stuff like that, because my inner reaction would be to contribute it to charity. But inwardly, if I were to restrain from doing that, I think I would be most happy if I could purchase a professional football team and be the owner of it.
All right. That's another way to go about it. That's not a thing you should be ashamed of, because it's a very open-ended question.
Mm-hmm.
Mitchell chose one way, you chose the other way,
Yeah.
and I think they're equal answers.
Oh, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. Yeah, I would love to. Really, it doesn't have to be a professional football team, but I would love to embed myself in sports and the sports culture.
That would be quite an
And I
exciting
think
way to live.
I've exceeded my. Well, not really exceeded. Rather, I don't have any chance of being a professional athlete. I think that ship has sailed, so to speak.
There are many athletes, especially in the marathon scene, who don't reach their peak until they're 45 or 50. So you still have time. You can do anything you set your mind to, Joseph.
Certainly, it takes a lot of discipline to be a distance runner. That's for sure.
There's nothing wrong with not being a professional athlete.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
you don't have to be the star to be happy. In fact, I think many people who aren't even known by anybody other than their immediate family and friends are happier than the people who make millions of dollars playing football. And I just want you to remember that, Joseph.
I appreciate that.
Now, Joshua, just to throw the question back at you. In your 98 years of living, I'm sure you've had experience over experience. What would you do if you had infinite funds? You could do anything right now. What would you do?
Oh, well, I don't need too much money to do what would make me happy. See if I could just take Juliet down to the lake and watch the sunset. That's about all I need to feel good.
Wow.
What a man.
That's so. That's beautiful.
I'm sorry to cut this short, boys, but I have to be getting home soon. But
Okay.
it was a pleasure, and I hope to see you boys in the future.
You as well.
All right.
You have
That's
a
firm
great
handshake.
rest of your
Y'all
day.
take care.
Hope you have a great rest of your day.
I want you to have this book. Mitchell.
Good.
Thank you so
Wow.
much. Wow, more than a carpenter.
Hey, drive safe.
Joshua.
Be
what
good.
what a guy. You
Wow.
know?
Yeah.
I come in, I'm judging him. First thing I do, I'm judging him, asking skeletons to claw. What a guy.
What a breath of fresh air.
What a breath of fresh air.
Yep.
He inspired some great conversation.
He really did. That was special.
I felt close to that man.
Yeah. All of a sudden, I don't want Tony to take that sign down. I would love for another experience.
I don't want
like
Tony
that.
to come back.
Yeah, I would rather have Joshua.
I want Joshua to come back.
Yeah. No, you're right.
I want whatever Tony can stay where he is. Joshua, I want Joshua in that chair every episode.
Yeah.
What a guy, you
Yeah,
know?
what a guy. Gave you a book.
Just gives me a book, over 15 million copies sold, And this is just something special. That was a special moment in Zesty podcast history
That
right
was
there.
special.
It was just sometimes the guest can walk in the door,
Yep.
The story will walk
Yep.
in,
Yeah. Maybe one time one of our recurring commenters will walk in the door and
Maybe.
that'd be kind of cool.
I mean, well, if old Laurent walked in
Yeah,
right
if Lauren
now,
came and sat down in this chair.
that'd be crazy.
I wonder what questions he'd ask us.
Yeah, get the flight over here. We'll get you on a podcast.
Absolutely. Yeah. We could do a beer review too.
Wow. I don't know why I was about to ask if he could speak English, but I just realized he comments in English every time.
Yeah.
I'm a damn fool.
Yeah.
I'm a damn fool.
Well, it's crazy how
I'm a damn
widespread
fool.
English is. I saw. Have you been on the subreddit map porn?
Mm-mm.
It's just interesting. It's just cool images of maps and stuff, and people talking about things of the sort. And it showed like nations where English is a widespread nation, widespread language, and English is worldwide.
Wow.
It is amazing what.
I think I'm not saying English should be the language, but if everyone spoke the same words, maybe we'd have a little less conflict.
Yeah, it'd be easy. It would be a lot easier.
We'd have a little less conflict,
Yeah.
It's a real divider.
I know. I feel guilty that I haven't learned Spanish. Being so close to Mexico, Spanish-speaking country, and
and I've had more than I have many opportunity too. I took Spanish in school. More than ever, there's ways to learn a different language.
yeah, Duolingo. That app is so easy.
You guys,
Tony, man,
Hey,
what's
man.
up?
sorry, I got locked out of the studio.
That's
It
okay.
was sorry.
You missed
Well, it
Oh
must have
Jesus,
happened.
we're almost out of time.
you
too,
missed a
so.
transcendent guest.
What?
Just a great man.
His name was Joshua Rosenstein. Yeah, he was a cool guy. He was a really nice guy.
That sounds stupid.
Yeah, might have been. I don't know. We enjoyed it.
We enjoyed him.
Yeah,
I had my reservations at first based on other guests, but he was an absolute. He gave me this book, More Than a Carpenter.
Wow.
You ever read it?
No.
You want it?
No, I do not want a book. I think the last book I read was, I got halfway through Lord of the Rings, but that was probably, and I read The Hobbit all the way through, but that was the last book I read in probably 5 years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good
so
books.
no, I do not want your book.
Fine, that's fair. Joshua told me that the art of patience taught me how to be a man in the short time he was here.
Mm-hmm.
He overcame his past.
Well, you see, we're running out of time. Thanks so much for tuning into this episode of Zesty Podcast. We'll see you on the next one.
Sorry about all this.